Hey everyone, it's Narrative Tarot. I'm here with Jupiter, August, August 2021. Yes. Commonly subscribe to the channel. I do monthly readings by by planet, not zodiac. If you're looking for love readings, if you're looking for pick a cards, I might be doing pick a cards in the future. I'm thinking about it. But love readings, relationships, will they come back? This is not the YouTube for that. Might be in the future, but like as of right now, no. So if you're interested in that, click off now. I see analytics. I can see when people like largely tune out. So I do the monthly readings. I do book club, other readings, astrology bits, random talks, stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, like, subscribe. Hit the notification bell because that'll let you know when I upload stuff. I'm not really somebody who's gonna go live or anything like that, so just letting you know. So let's get into it. So this is for people with significant Jupiter aspects, transits, things like that. So I like the energy. I kind of felt like Jupiter, once I like held the deck, was going to pick up a little bit. We do have the moon on the bottom of the deck. I'm not really concerned about that. I think that things are going to go really well. I don't know if you have a pet or something like that, because I'm thinking of like Ratatouille, like the movie and the rat and all that kind of stuff. If you can see, I don't know where the rat is. Is the rat in this one? Oh yeah, there we go. But if you have a pet, I think this is a great time to like bond with your pets for some reason. Like, I don't know, like a great time to like bond with your pets. You may pick up a stray with that like rat. You may pick up a stray or decide to like adopt a pet or something like that. I would stay away from like adopting a pet if you're like financially stretched here with the 10 of wands. If you're like, I know it's not 10 of coins, but if you're like stretched already, like you have other obligations and you can't give the full attention to whatever it is that you're trying to adopt, and that's also for children, because like, you know, people be wild out here like adopting just any fucking thing. They'll adopt anything because they have like a hole within like them, and then they're trying to like adopt, and then they're trying to like, you know, have all this stuff, and then there's low-key like neglect and shit like that. Just like stay away from like taking on responsibilities, but particularly things that you're adopting to like raise or have influence over. Like, just make sure that you're not incompetent, like, because I feel like with that 10 of wands, like, you could be quite incompetent. 9 of cups, 10 of pentacles, and then we have the, what is this, 9 of swords. If you're worried about having kids, I would say, like, maybe not. Like, don't. You have the ace. I would say also with this, that 9 of cups, that 10 of pentacles, and 9 of swords, like, just make sure if you're going to adopt things that you, like I said, you have the time for it. Or like, you don't treat it as like an accessory. You treat it as like an actual living being that you commune with, even if it's under your tutelage or under your command or training or whatever. Like, it is a living being that needs to grow. To grow and develop, just like you need to grow and develop, even if they're in a different age stage. Just make sure that like you're doing that. With the Ace of Wands and the Page of Pentacles, you may want to invest in things invest in new things. Just make sure that investing in new things isn't just because you want to be on trend or something like that. Like, actually make sure it's backed up. It's not backed up and trying to be right if it goes well. It's not even because like, oh, it can go bust. It's just you want to put your money behind things because you genuinely think that they're on the upward trajectory, as opposed to like, it's what everybody's doing. I follow this person and they do something, because it could cause you to like stretch yourself thin, right? You know, those like YouTube ads and shit like that, like the top 10 stocks to invest in if you only have $1,000. Like, some people don't have $1,000. Okay, like, just make sure. I want this card. And the High Priestess. Make sure that you know what you can handle financially, and I would say go to a financial planner. If you want more advice, like, I'm someone who would like to see a financial astrologer. I don't even know if like financial astrologers exist, but like I would like that. I feel like that High Priestess is kind of like some sort of, not intermediary, but some sort of advisor that has a different way of seeing what you're seeing or trying to see, or just seeing like the topic. They're knowledgeable about it, but from a different angle, and it may help. Let me close this door because it's like midnight. Yeah, like someone who has like advice, like, but they have advice because they obtained it from like different means, like experience, and then they have like the ability to like read charts financially or something like that. What else? Really? All these cards came out. Oh god. It's like they keep coming out like 3, 4, 5. So, we have 2 of Swords. I would say, I kind of feel like for Jupiter, this may not be, with Strength, this may not be the time to be so, like, indecisive. Like, I think you're meant to take decisive action. Okay. You're meant to take decisive action. You have the 6 of Pentacles, Page of Wands. Let's see what comes out. Be decisive, I think. Okay, so Death and the Chariot, they had like fallen out a little bit before, so I'm gonna take them. I just feel like being decisive, because you have Strength, Chariot, and Death, so being decisive would help you guys a lot better. With the other ones, it kind of felt like you needed to like balance like some shit out, like weigh some things out. For you, like, you need to be very decisive in that. There's a common thing of like having to know like oneself on a certain level. Yeah, we got the Moon. So having to know oneself on a certain level, it's kind of interesting. I don't know if like this is leading up to 2022, because 2022, I believe, is going to be the year that people have to really unpack a lot of trauma. And so I guess we may all collectively, you know, the Queen of Swords, we may all collectively be going through spaces of like, almost like having a laundry list of like shit that's like wrong with us, or quirks or something like that we can proudly stand on. Because I feel like when Pluto goes into Aquarius, it'll be very easy for us to, this is like far too many, very easy for us to like claim our stuff. And I think also we'll start getting the mental, I don't want to say exorcism, but the mental exorcisms that come with being like tortured and fucked up and having to release a lot of trauma, because a lot of it's mental, right? I mean, it's physical stuff, like we have physical scars, but a lot of the trauma and a lot of the scars we have are like quite mental now, because we're not in the space anymore where we like were when they were inflicted. So I kind of think that we're getting ready for that kind of stuff with the King of Cups, of owning our insecurities or owning our vulnerabilities and standing in that, and not being this Two of Swords wishy-washy, or Page of Wands feeling like you can't own it, or feeling like the most basic emotions that we have, or the most basic emotions we have or reactions we have aren't, I don't want to say endearing, but like that having a full spectrum of emotions is somehow bad. And I kind of feel like that's where like Aquarius, this where like air signs, and to a certain extent fire signs, but I feel like air signs, I was just like watching something, like not to take things personally, but it's just like you're a human being, and so like you have a full range of human things. I think when you get to Capricorn, you know, Sagittarius kind of is like the last sign, even though it's in the upper realms and it talks about higher minds and like that, but I kind of feel like it's the last real sign of like the self, and kind of like the self, it's like the realization of the self with the other, like I think on a level that Scorpio and Libra like aren't on. It's not bad that like all these other signs aren't, but I kind of feel like you're hyper aware of it once you get to Capricorn. I kind of feel like you're just hyper aware of your place in the world, in the wider world. I feel like this is like something I have to talk about later, but it's like having an identity and a strong self actually in some way kind of helps you become like transcendent. It's like a weird concept. It's very paradoxical, because I think people like, you need to dissolve your identity and stuff like that, but it's kind of thing, I kind of feel like having that strong identity is what helps you transcend. Like it's just transcend identity in and of itself, because I kind of think that there's an understanding that, okay, yeah, transcending identity and stuff like that, but you have this like very physical, I don't want to say finite, but this very physical identity, not fixed identity, but like fixed as in it's on earth currently as we speak or whatever. And so when you can't reconcile with that, I kind of feel like you stay in like lower rungs of knowing, because it's not just about, oh, we transcend, we're all energy and we're all light. Like it's, you literally are here as a human being, or as just a being in general, taking a physical 3D form that has a very fixed existence, and that through understanding, yes, yourself and your relations to self, you actually can transcend quite a bit of the issues. It's like when my friend, he's talking about like, cause he's my like life coach and guru, but talking about like the gap between what you know about yourself and what other people know, and that like there could be quite a bit of a gap there. But for me, the vein I'm talking about is 9 of Wands, like kind of knowing your limits in terms of who you are as a being. It's hard to explain, and I'm gonna have to meditate on it more. It's like midnight, guys. Like, are you getting premium-y? As far as like that's concerned, yeah. But it's something that has come up, and the idea of like the reason why like a fire sign or an air sign can be very detached is because they don't rule like physical body. They don't rule like physical beingness like a water sign or an earth sign. God knows an earth sign would like rule in water too. It doesn't mean that they don't have life, but it's like life with another, it's like another dimension of life. another fractal of what life is, as opposed to like the very physical things. And so when you get to Aquarius, especially, like that becomes very apparent, even though it switches between air, water, fire, earth, blah, 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 blah. And then ultimately the last one is kind of a more physical based Piscean water thing. Because it's almost like saying that like the thoughts kind of help you transcend. It's 9 of Wands, like came out again. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say. Make sure that you are just taking care of yourself, taking care of the things you need to take care of, making sure that you're preparing yourself for the future, that you're just getting yourself together. I feel like that's all. Alright, I'll see you guys later. You're the longest video so far. Bye.